party somehow. It usually works like this. Everybody should have somehow in his purse some papers like this. And what you should have written on the paper is maybe your name, your email address, your key ID, and your fingerprint, or the fingerprint of the key. And then you can just give it to someone, show your passport, look each other into the face and check if everything is okay, if the name matches, if the guy really looks like in the passport or more or less like in the passport. And then the recipient of that paper can maybe just do a manual signature here and put it in his pocket, and later at home he can sign that key. He just downloads it from the key server, signs it, and if he found it on the key server, he can just upload it again to the key server. If the key is not found on any key server, you maybe have to ask the guy, send me your public key, then you sign it, and then you send the signed version back. So this is how it would work. And the only thing that has to be done in person is somehow this checking. Every else stuff can be done at home, basically. So this was mainly intended to be about this checking part, checking the passport and if the guy is real.
Sorry, if I don't have the passport with me, do I have to go now to the room and get it? Yeah.
Do you have any document with you?
No.
Then you have to get it.
So you consider it is a good idea to include this information to visit cards?
Yeah, you can also have a visit card, yeah, and a business card, yeah, and print it on it. But I have gone the cheap way and just used some paper and cut it. You can also, if you did not do this before, you can also use a piece of paper now and just write the values on it. Just the fingerprint is a bit long, yeah, but you could do it that way also. Okay. Who is completely new to GPG stuff, who does not know how it works at all? Okay, two. So I can tell something about it maybe while the rest is exchanging keys. You are not speaking German, right? Okay. So,
French perhaps?
No, for sure not. I had it at school, but that's rather outdated. Somehow my screen has changed.
Oh, and your battery seems to be dying.
Yeah, that also. But I have two. So, oh, and one is not present. Okay. There. This is a talk I held in Germany, and it's not going in very deep, but it's covering the most basic stuff you need in any case. Yeah, you could plug it in. Yeah, thanks. Okay, one of the more complicated things about using OpenPG stuff, it's either GNU-PG or PGP on Windows, for example. At the beginning you have to create a key pair. It's a pair of a public key and a private key. The private key you keep for yourself and it's secret and don't give it to anyone. And the public key you can give to everybody. You can even upload it to a public key server on the internet or append it to a mail somehow. And at the beginning you need to make a key pair. This is somehow badly aligned. Can we change this somehow?
Change the resolution. You have to go 1000.
Oh, sorry.
And
This used to work automatically in the past.
yeah, but
Okay.
okay, you have to use this resolution.
Okay. Now it's the correct one. Okay, let's go one deeper even.
Just work with this one.
Yeah, but
This one should work, but
and I had talks here. It worked in the other rooms somehow.
sorry, I don't know how.
Anyway, we can't read it, so.
Okay, I just think I moved the window a bit. So,
Sorry.
yeah, no problem. So this should, okay, so now it fits more or less. So you need to use GPG. You have Linux or what do you have? Okay, you need to install GNU PG, maybe the version 1. I think this is covering the 1 version. And then you just say generate key here, --gen -key. And you should do this on a rather trusted machine. So you shouldn't have any suspicious activity on your machine. Yeah. So maybe don't do it on an infected Windows machine because it might know your passphrase afterwards. It will ask you some questions afterwards. And these are just the answers, 5 and 4096 and 10 years maybe, and name and email address. This 5 tells you want to use RSA encryption. The main reason for this is that DSA might be still limited to 1024 bits and you likely want more, so use RSA. And this is a rather big key length for your master key. The master key is that key that will have a very long lifetime, 10 years. And it won't be the key you will actively use for signing and encrypting stuff, but it's rather the key that is used to protect the other keys or that other people can sign. So you keep the signatures for 10 years basically. So these are the parameters. It will ask you for a comment. You can write something in there or you can also keep the comment empty. And at the end you have to say OK. Then you might get some notification that it does not have enough random bytes or something. Then just move your mouse, hit some keys or something so it gets more randomness into the system. And then it will tell something like this. And you see it has 4069 bits and this is the key ID. And you see this was a while ago when I did it and it will expire 10 years later. And it will also tell you the fingerprint. This is what you want to put on your business card. So people can verify if they downloaded your key from a key server, whether it's really the right one.
Can I interrupt you for a second? Did you mean us to start exchanging keys and stuff? Because we can't do that when you're presenting. We just got to figure out, I just want to make sure that when the time is over.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult. Excuse me?
Why do you want to exchange now?
Because the checking of the passport, you can only do that in person. So, well, maybe do you think you could look this up on the internet somehow? Because there are some how-tos. And if you remember that URL, you can maybe even read those tips or those command lines, even if the rest is in German. And there is also a script of another guy that automates most of this. So you maybe have the answers. Maybe very short, you will create a master key and you will create 2 subkeys, one for signing, one for encryption. And also important, you will have to generate revocation certificates. So in case you forget your passphrase, you can revoke those keys. Otherwise, you can't pull them back from the key server because you can't identify yourself, basically. Then upload the key if you are sure you did everything wrong. Print your business cards and take part in such meetings and get your key signed by many other people, so there is a network of trust that develops. 2 words about mistakes you could make, because this is also important. Don't use a too easy passphrase. This is the only thing that protects your key if you lose it or if it gets stolen somehow on your laptop. Don't enter your passphrase if some camera is looking on you, of course. It must not get disclosed. Don't create a key pair on a not trustworthy machine. Don't forget your passphrase. Make a backup. Make revocation certificates. Also, this expiry date is important. If you set it to infinity, it will never expire. And this is especially bad if you also don't have revocation certificates, because it will never go away again. And don't use a too short key. 768 bits or something is not enough anymore. You need at least 2000, I think. So 2000 or 4000. And especially, do not sign anything you want to deny later, because you signed it digitally. You cannot deny it later. Okay, these are the most common errors maybe. One additional thing, if you want even be more secure, you should create a master key maybe on an offline machine and never use the master key on a machine that is somehow online or connected or something. That would be even a bit more secure. But this is the most common stuff. Okay, so let's use the rest of the time for key signing. And it works like this. You, where's my passport? So you use your passport or your identity card. If you have nothing else, maybe your driving license or something. Yeah, that's not very official. Yeah. And then you just give it to someone. Yeah, no problem. You don't need a notebook. You look at the photo, you look at me. I can take down my glasses, yeah, and it should match somehow. Of course, if that picture is 5 years ago or something, it will have maybe some differences. You check the name, of course. You check the name here, and okay, email address, and the rest is from me anyway. And now you could take a pencil, give him a pencil, and maybe you just sign with your name here. So you have signed it on paper, and you will remember later that you checked all that stuff, and you just take it home with you and do the rest at home. Doing it at home, by the way, has the advantage, if you would do it here, you would have to enter your passphrase, and at least 3 people from behind you would maybe see your passphrase. So doing it at home is better anyway. Okay, and we could do that sort of stuff in all combinations now. Just make sure to get back your passport. You might need it soon. Okay. So, you want to take part? No? Okay.
Sorry.
If there are questions in between, just ask. By the way, if you want to use this practically later, for example, if you use Thunderbird, there is an extension called Enigmail, like Enigma and mail, Enigmail, and that makes it
We are a citizen of US. They say that they don't know that because it's encrypted, so they can do.
They can what?
They can try to decrypt it, even though
Yeah, they can try for 1,000 years likely.
unless like they prove that P is NP or something like
Yeah.
that.
By the way, what I heard until now and what I think most security people are saying that is that PGP is rather secure.
Yeah.
So if it would happen that in 1 year somebody is saying, don't use PGP anymore, it is not secure, then check if that guy is really telling the truth or maybe lying at you just to want you to get it away from it.
Or maybe he has a valid proof that P is NP.
He would have to prove that with encrypted text basically, and maybe with some cryptographers watching him also. So, do you want to sign it?
Okay.
You know how it works? You check the photo.
Okay.
Look here.
You look like me.
Yeah. Okay. Then check the name if it's the same on the paper, and then maybe make some mark or some sign so that you really remember I have checked this guy.
Okay, but I should add it to my.
And later at home you can download my key. You have the key ID here on the paper. You can get it from the key server.
So I should just sign. I mean.
Yeah, you sign on paper now, just to remember that you really checked this. This is the only thing. If you only put stuff in your pocket that you have checked, you don't even need to sign it, but you have to remember what you did.
Can I ask now, or should we wait for something? I don't know.
No, if there are questions,
Okay.
ask.
I already have a GPG, but
Yeah.
I never use it for sending emails. I just use it to sign my comics in Git.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, up until now, I haven't thought about this thing of.
Do you use Thunderbird maybe?
Yes, I configured the Enigma, but
Yeah.
I don't have any other public key, so
Yeah, you can. The public keys are on the key server, so you can basically get any public key you want.
I'm not really associated with any big organization that hosts a key server. So I mean,
You can just Google for key server. There is one at the MIT, I think, and one is at keys.newpg.org or something.
what do you suggest?
It's the same. They exchange the keys. You can use whatever works for you. And if you check the fingerprint of the key, you can't fake it somehow. So it's really the key you want. Important is to check the fingerprint of the key you sign. If you are ready with the passport, okay.
Debian Wi-Fi. You can Google for Debian Keysigning.
You can encrypt the file itself. If you want to encrypt some text, you can use it on the command line and then just either type in the text or use a pipe and push it into this tool. And as soon as the end of file is reached, it will output the encrypted stuff. And it will encrypt for this recipient. So you need to have downloaded a public key with receive keys, and the output will be the encrypted stuff. And it will be in some sort of text format. This is this armor parameter. So it's 7-bit safe somehow. And if you want to sign, decrypting works the same way. You can just say decrypt and input such a file into standard input. Then, of course, you need a passphrase, and then it will output the decrypted text here. Can I have it back, or
Yes, sure.
this one? Keep this. Okay. So
So there was one too.
Can I take the paper?
yeah, it's for you. Okay, this matches.
I have a question.
1 second, please. Lenny, not here. It matches too. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I need. Do you have something to write? I sign it here now. Oops. Okay, and put it in the pocket for now. Okay, who is not busy? The other application of if you don't want to encrypt, but if you want to make sure that nobody modifies your data, you can also sign stuff. Works like this. You say, I want to sign. This armor is if you want to transmit it in via email or so. A clear sign means the text is still readable. There is just something additional below it. And then you input the input data, and it will get into here as output. And if you want to check such a signed content, you can just say verify, and it will say good signature. So that's basically it. By the way, I think here you might get a message that there is a good signature, but that you don't trust this key. This is because it's maybe not part of your trust network, but it still has verified if it's the correct key. So yeah, so you can ignore that part of the message. The good signature here is important. Yeah, there is also for evolution evolution has built in GPG support, Enigmail for Thunderbird. There is Fire GPG for Firefox, I think. And yeah, the rest is in German. That's not that interesting. Okay, so basically you can exchange your stuff with everybody else.
I think I should have like signed with my private key, your public key, and then send it back to you, and then I give you my...
In my case, I have uploaded my key to the key server.
Okay.
And if that is the case, if the original person uploaded his own key to the key server, you can do the same. I think that nobody will have a problem with that. Just if you don't find the key on the key server and you get it somehow else by email personally or so, then don't upload it to the key server. Then maybe that guy does not want it to be on the key server. But mine is on the key server, so you can just upload it again.
For avoiding to be on the key server?
And if you've got...
Maybe someone thinks it's less secure, so, but I don't know. I don't have a reason to do that.
I've got a question. What happens when you've got, when someone downloads your key, signs it, and the other person does that at the same time, and you've got two versions, like signed by one person and signed by...
I think the key servers somehow deal with that, but I don't know the technical details, how they merge it. Yeah. But it seems to work. By the way, those key servers also have a web interface. GPG Key Server. So you see there's PGP, MIT, Edu. This is maybe the oldest original one. And if you go there, you can search for a string. So I just use my last name, or you also could enter email address and hit search. And of course then you need to be careful. You see there are quite a lot of people with my last name, so you have to choose the right key. And okay, the email address is maybe better. You see here is my correct email address. And then you can see here, this is the key ID, and it's the same like on my paper. So this is the right key. Yeah. And you also see here the length and that it is RSA. And if you click here, you get it in text format. This is my public key. By the way, afterwards, what time is it? There's from Holger this talk, and we are thinking about how to maybe improve that sort of stuff, that it gets less complicated. Because currently it's not that widely used. It should be more widely used to be really useful. And there is an idea how to make it easier. It's maybe not extremely 100% perfect, but it would be better than the current state. The current state is everybody does not encrypt his email. So it would be better than that at least.
You can do list secret. Yeah, that list secret, and then it will be yours.
Key signing or next session?
No, it's sorry.
Are you coming for key signing or for the next session here?
No, I'm coming for the room.
Ah, okay.
It's my room operator.
Ah, yeah.
This one at the bottom. This one is being removed. The second, the SSB.
I try to find the other key server.
I have no idea.
GNU PG, that's the Linux stuff.
Is it yours?
This is him.
Okay.
Yeah,
So this is probably the first one.
Your key on a key server
yeah.
answer several key servers. How?
They synchronize somehow. Yeah. This is key signing, yeah.
Sometimes when I don't see updates, I just keep updating from all servers. The thing is that every participant can create different copies of the key with all the signatures, because as long
Yeah.
as the cryptography.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Which key were you want, the right one?
I mean,
The right one is written here. This is the key ID.
no, I mean there is a B3B or 5,
Yeah.
5, 6.
The one is the primary key. I think this is one that I have written here. And the other one is a secondary key.
Okay, so just tell me this.
Okay, so the
You
bottom
have-
one is the primary.
You have to sign that one that is printed here.
No, he's asking about GNU PG, about his keys.
Oops, sorry.
So tell me this combination, please, after slash.
The bottom one is the primary, right? So if this is correct, the primary is 456. And 691.
Yeah, looks like. But that it says SSB,
I'm not an architect.
it's strange.
Oh, you didn't put another key server?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. So then, can you put it in the key server?
Yeah,
I thought you put it in that one.
Do you always keep
Because I think that the contraction of Samuel to Sam,
Yeah,
they wouldn't allow that.
and you distribute them when you meet
They
someone?
allow leaving
Yeah.
out middle names.
yeah, that's the best way. Because over the internet you have always a slight chance that there's someone in the middle. And you also can check faces over the internet.
If I want to,
It's only between us. I don't make a
at the name
guarantee
of
to
Thomas
anybody else.
Waldmann.
Everybody else
Yeah.
can ponder whether I'm
put your
trustworthy
address
or not.
and pretend I was you.
Yeah, that's the problem. And this is why you get my passport. You see my face here, and you get this from me personally. This is the way to check it that you have the right one.
So I sign it.
Yeah. Check the passport.
Using
Okay.
the best like this may make things easier.
Okay.
Check everything. It doesn't work with
Not
the
the
password.
but I think that I use more the secondary key than the primary, but okay.
Yes, after we enter the keys, it comes to maximum.
Faster is maximum, but we're still in orbit.
Sorry?
Sorry.
No, but I've seen that there are a couple of like different proxy servers.
Yeah.
You could put, and the maximum one is like when you have seen the person wallet.
Well, when you've done whatever you consider is careful.
Okay.
Yeah, my UI.
How much time do we have left?
You have 4 minutes and then 5 minutes for questions if you want.
Okay.
Here we have like
So you have quite a lot of time.
And then
Okay.
with me
So this is done.
say, and then like casual checking, careful checking, and
Okay, let's wait because it's gonna be easier than transfer.
absolutely, I just have to write it.
So you can verify mine now.
Okay.
or you can just spell it to me.
Mine is I received the key 5 GPG -S.
Du hast glaube noch nicht.
Das ist abgelaufen.
Echt?
Like this?
Nee, 2018 heißt es.
There's fingerprint and
Yeah,
see the information.
the validity of the passport strictly has to be checked. So if it's not valid anymore, yeah,
And I have to
maybe have some sort of tolerance about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
See the surname and name. That's me.
Do you have a paper with your stuff?
I think I get one, so I'm passing that around.
And now I'll tell you.
Also, you only have one copy.
Yeah.
I have to verify that.
Okay. An alternative approach is if you have a digital camera with you. You maybe could also just take a photo of the stuff. Then you have to write less.
And now you write somewhere that it's correct, and that's the size.
okay, so
Your key is still not there. So I'll be back.
Okay. Any more questions?
Sir? No?
By the way, if you develop some software, you can sign your software releases. So if you have a tar.gz or zip file or something, you can sign that file, and then you can verify later if someone tampered that file, and also people who download it from you can check if it really is the content that it should be, and if really you signed it. Commits, yeah, if you use Git, you can sign your Git commits. So it's quite useful, especially if at some time someone breaks into your server and you can't be sure that your zip file is exactly how it was before.
Can I sign your? Can you sign mine?
Yeah.
I don't have it here, so I'll have to tell you. Or write it down.
Can you show it to me in a big picture somehow?
Big picture. Sure.
Because I don't want to write down a lot of stuff right now.
Okay. Oh, just a sec.
The right one.
This is me.
Okay, let's see.
Nice signature. Nice signature.
Wait.
Nice signature, that one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's actually written
Oh, that did not really work.
really well. Like the first one is the orange, the other one is bullshit, and you
Okay. So your passport?
And yet the same problem as I.
You look a bit different now.
They, in Germany they switched to having a really
So your beard is different. Okay.
Yeah, my ID is even worse.
Yeah. From when was this?
This is 2009. Or 10.
Okay.
Or 11. Wait a minute.
It's a bit hard, and your hair was a bit darker, and
I can show you my ID as well if you want.
let's look at this. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now
Border case.
I take this one, right?
Yeah.
Yours. And then
This is my
verify.
passport. Last name, first name.
Okay.
Yeah, but well, additional question, maybe.
Okay, that's you. No doubt about that. So that's it, right? And then I send you your key signed with mine afterwards?
You can just upload it.
Okay.
Download it from key server, sign it, upload it again.
Okay.
That's all.
That's all. I mean,
Okay.
so sending is not necessary anymore, right? If I upload.
You can upload it. That's like
all.
sending. I can download it from there. So
Yeah.
yeah. Just don't upload a key from someone you did not find on a key server, because maybe that guy doesn't like it or something.
Okay.
So I got in my primary key.
Okay. Last questions? Any?
Check that.
Okay. Seems not to be the case.
Or should I just get in the second?
I think the first thing I did was to sign the second key, the primary, and the other one.
Thank you.
Yes, I mean, I know that you can sign and create new keys. The other can detect the relationship between the keys.